Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of World Pandemic COVID-19. And on the previous shows, if you have seen, we have covered a lot about the pandemic, especially within the last couple of years, and especially how we help the vulnerable, those who were not able to come out by way of providing themselves with food and medication. And we had many wonderful people who came forward to help out in the community, which was a wonderful thing. And we've covered many other aspects as well. On this show, we will be covering post-COVID and also long COVID. So post-COVID recovery and what are the people who are suffering from long COVID? Because we know that many of the people who have had COVID, it doesn't seem to go away. 2020 March, a couple of years, well, 2020 March, nearly 2 years ago now, we know that when this obviously was a very unprecedented moment for everybody in the whole world, to be honest, but when it reached us, we were, coming home and boiling hot water, and we were inhaling the steam, and many of us didn't know what to put in the water, so we were learning as the process went by. Today, I have a very intelligent young gentleman with me, and he specializes in physiotherapy and also nutrition, and what's the other thing? Physiotherapy, natural remedy, and nutrition. So I've got with myself Razvan Olariu. Welcome to the show, Razvan.
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Brilliant. I like the way you said Assalamu alaikum. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Razvan.
Okay, so I'm a fitness coach, and my biggest pleasure in life is to help people become the best version of themselves. And I studied physiotherapy, so I have a bachelor degree in physiotherapy, and I also have a master's degree in fitness and body aesthetics.
Brilliant.
And if you're wondering why I've done this combination of studying physiotherapy and also fitness, it's because I only wanted to bring more to the table, more to people, other than just helping someone get fitter, look a little bit better. So I just wanted to go deeper into the body. I wanted to help even people who have different issues, injuries, help everyone basically feel better.
Brilliant. And, so these are obviously all general things that we need on a day-to-day life, and the body, mind and soul and all these aspects of it is so important. And we know that nutritionally we can change a lot of that and enhance that. Now, as we are in a very unprecedented time, and the immune system is something that we've been hearing, you put the telly on, it's about how to boost your immune system. One of the things to fight this horrible COVID is to boost your immune system and how to make it stronger. From my understanding, I mean, immune system is something that is an occurrence in the body naturally. It provides the protection from viruses and stuff like that. Why is it important that we should, do these, go that extra length and provide ourselves with exercises and nutrition?
Yeah, so if we take a step back, when you think about the immune system, it's not like a muscle. For example, when you go to the gym, you do some bicep curls, you train the biceps, it gets stronger. The immune system is much more complicated than that. So everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, including your stress levels, your nutrition, the way we interact with nature, it can change how your immune system responds to threats like, the viruses, the microbes, bacteria, and stuff like that. So when there's balance in the body, then the immune system thrives and is able to fight off whatever comes its way, right? But then we have day-to-day stress, we have pollution, we have bad diets, we have, our water is not the cleanest. So all these things contribute to suppressing the immune system. And there are certain ways which we can do basically to bring the immune system back up and make it ready to fight all these threats. But at the end of the day, what you do on a day-to-day basis, it will act, as an insurance policy that in the future or, in the near future, you'll be able to be stronger and, be resilient to all these
Fantastic.
threats from outside.
These are very important, but like I said, naturally naturally your body, you know, it produces a sort of a support already, but we do need that extra support, and especially when we have viruses around. Let's look at a video of what
so first
you do.
we're going to start with some exercises which I think are, and I put them together because a lot of people, after they experience going through the illness of COVID, then they feel fatigued.
Fantastic.
Some people are affected for a longer period of time because they get long COVID.
Right.
So even after 6 months, they, for example, come from shopping, carrying a few bags or going up on stairs, and they get in the house and they're like,
very tired, breathless and stuff like that.
They don't remember feeling like that, pre-COVID. So all these exercises are breathing exercises, which is basically going to help re-educate the breathing muscles, which are mainly the abdominal muscles, thoracic muscles, and also the diaphragm. And the exercise we're going to show you is basically going to enhance.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look at the video, guys, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. My name is Raz. I'm a personal trainer and a physiotherapist, and the goal of this video today is to help you, once you recover from COVID, to get your fitness back so you can feel energetic and happy and strong again, so you can live life to the fullest. But before we start the exercises, I have to give you a disclaimer. Guys, I'm not a doctor. So whenever you start a new exercise program, please consult your physician. If he gives you a green light, then go for it. Also, before we start, I want to give you 3 important tips. Number 1, make sure you are hydrated. Number 2, make sure you have a meal 1.5 to 2 hours before. And number 3, if at any point in time during these exercises you feel a little bit lightheaded, a bit out of breath, just stop. That's your level for that day. Try again tomorrow and slowly try to improve. You don't have to do everything from the first time. The starting position of every exercise is very important, so I want you to lie down, face up, keep the knees bent, hands along the side of your body. I want you to inhale and raise the hands above your head. Take a deep breath. Inhale as much as you can, hold it for a split second, and exhale everything. And again. Well done, keep it up. Deep breath as you go up. Fill your lungs with air and exhale everything. Second exercise, I want you to be seated. We're going to start with your back straight, chest up. From this position, I want you to raise your arms above your head. Inhale, as always, take a deep breath. Hold it for a split second. And exhale. And on the second part, just raise your hands to the side. Inhale on the way up.
Right. Well, we've seen what you're doing with the breathing techniques. So explain to me a little bit about the importance of this.
Yeah, so as you notice, the starting position is lying down, because when people start, you never know the level of fitness they are at. So if they are lying on the floor, it's very easy for them to just be safe, because
sorry, can I just ask you, is there a beginner's level and a sort of a mediatory level?
Yeah, that's the beginner's level.
Right,
so
for the breathing techniques.
As you progress into the video, you will see that the exercise become a little bit more challenging. So lying down, everyone feels safe, everyone feels relaxed, so they can really focus on breathing to their abdomen, through their thorax. So when you inhale, you literally allow your body to intake more oxygen.
Oxygen, right.
Right, and this is very important because after COVID, the muscles involved into breathing, they are weakened.
Right.
So our goal with this exercise is to bring back these muscles, make them work properly again, so you can, inhale.
So how soon can people start? So let's just say somebody's gone through COVID and they've gone through a usual 14 days of no taste, no smell, very tired, okay, and they're just recovering. Should they wait a little bit until they're fully recovered so they can do the exercises, or should they start the breathing techniques? I mean, can they start straight away? And how would you advise that?
I think it depends on how badly they were affected.
Right.
But I would suggest people start this straight away.
Right. Now, when I said, sorry, just to cut to you again, when I said the 14 days, these are the people who have not been hospitalized, right? So we got to take it in two different aspects here. There are some people...
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better. Some people, they go through the 14 days or or 10 days or 14 days, whatever, from my understanding, and that's what I went through. And after 14 days, I started tasting, the taste
again.
comes back, the smell comes back. But there are people who have been hospitalized, right? They've been on inhalers and things like that. So they've come home now. Can they?
The same, the sooner the better. Just to give you another example, when people suffer a heart attack,
right?
Once they are stable, the medical staff will ask them to start exercising. So when I was doing my uni studies, sometimes we were doing volunteer work in the hospitals, and people straight away after 2-3 days after having like a heart attack, obviously not a major one which requires surgery, but they had to go on bike and start slowly. So even if you are coming from hospital, recovered, and then you come home, it should start straight away. Even if you currently have the virus, you should also do the exercises, because it helps you to not lose the strength, of your respiratory muscles.
Right. So this is very important because obviously with any other exercises, your lungs have to be strong because it's all about breathing, and we know inhale, exhale, and stuff like that in exercises. So explain to me a little bit so exactly what you were doing and how that will, help you when you were taking your arms back and all that. Explain to me a little bit about the breathing technique.
Okay, so another thing I want to touch is because nowadays a lot of people are working in the office, right? So we are all the time, hands
sedentary position,
right? So what happens? Not only your posture has to suffer, but also your lungs become more constricted, right?
Right.
So if you are a person who works in the office and then you are suffering from this horrible disease, and then you need to recover, you won't be able to breathe as efficient if you are in this position. So we're trying to look for ways and positions which is going to expand the rib cage.
Fascinating. So posture is very important. How you sit is very important. So guys at home, if you're watching, then remember this is such an important, it's everyday things that we do every day, but your sitting position, your standing position, these all come into matter, So going back to you again.
You wouldn't believe how important the posture is, right? Because if you have a bad posture, as I said, like your lungs are constricted, you won't be able to uptake that much oxygen. Let's say then if you are unfit, you don't do any sports or anything, you become less fit, and then of course when you're gonna your body's gonna have to deal with COVID, then it's gonna struggle a lot,
Fantastic.
So as I said, it's very important for people to be aware of this once they recover from COVID to start exercising. But even it's very important for people who are healthy, to make sure they are breathing properly, because a lot of people are breathing very shallow, so they can't even inhale, take a deep breath, because they only have shallow breathing, and that doesn't help. So all these exercises which I show in my YouTube video is basically helping you to re-educate your posture and also educate your breathing muscles,
Okay.
right?
Well, just to go to the viewers, so remember the first thing that we saw was the breathing techniques and posture. So remember to position yourself well, and we don't want to make this an exercise video that you watch on YouTube. However, you follow Raz on YouTube. He's got his channel and many things that you can benefit from. So breathing texture, breathing techniques, sorry, and the posture. Before we go into another video, I will just talk about a little bit more about the immune system in terms of nutrition. So Raz, can you tell me a few things that we can, because we are short of time and we can't show everything on TV. Maybe we'll do another episode. But just go to, so we've seen the breathing technique. Go to the very important factors of nutrition.
So nutrition is everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to your health, nutrition is everything. If you are deficient in something, your body will definitely struggle.
The saying is you are what you eat.
Yeah, exactly. And since human beings evolved, we evolved with nature. So we always had fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and they were packed with nutrients. Whereas nowadays, even if people trying to get as many fruits and vegetables, unfortunately, because of the way everything is processed, everything is sprayed, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, we tend to get less nutrition from our food. Right. There was a study, and they looked at spinach 50 years ago, and then spinach today. 100 grams of spinach 50 years ago had around 40 to 50 milligrams of magnesium, whereas today, 3 milligrams.
It's because of all these GM products. Everything is genetically modified, right? Course, which is very, very unfortunate. And this is really important. If you study the nutritional factors of many fruits and vegetables, and even meat and poultry and stuff like that. But make sure that you get enough of the grams of protein and enzymes and whatnot. You can do your further studies. But what Raz just mentioned, that the nutrition in fruits and vegetables years ago would not have the same amount now. So make sure you do your study and measurements correctly.
So basically, when people look at their plates, it should be at least 50% raw, if possible, fruits and vegetables. Because the moment you guys cook your food, you lost everything. Like, most of the nutrition is gone. So that's why it's important to have a lot of greens. Greens in particular, they have so many amazing benefits. It has detoxing benefits. It helps you with your digestion. It's very good for your immune system because of the macronutrient and the micronutrients it has, all the vitamins and the minerals. So getting back to the micronutrients, we have a very important vitamin which does wonders for your immune system, and that is vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
Yeah, vitamin C. And interesting fact, we humans are the only mammals who lost our ability to produce vitamin C.
Really?
That's crazy. Let's take an example, a goat.
Okay.
In a stressful situation, a goat can produce up to 150 to 100 grams of vitamin C.
So why can't we do it?
Every single day.
So what happened to us?
Sometimes during our evolution, we lost this ability.
Oh, goodness me.
So all the mammals have this ability.
So
we don't have it.
Vitamin C would be from most citrus fruits, right? Is that what you say?
Yes.
This is to a general understanding.
Citrus foods, kiwis have high amounts, broccoli, greens, as I said, greens have high amounts of vitamin C. So vitamin C in particular is antiviral, antimicrobial. It's good for people who are stressed because it helps the adrenal glands to work better, right?
So it helps you obviously recover in terms of, especially what we're talking about post-COVID here. So a lot of vitamin C is what we need. And what is this we're talking about? We hear a lot about the vitamin D as well.
Yes, vitamin D is another superstar in my opinion. And basically, it's also called the sunshine vitamin. And when you are exposed to the sun, then the skin naturally, and the body will.
And we don't get much in this country, do we? Unfortunately.
Will produce vitamin D.
Would you say to have enough of that to supplement?
Yes, if you don't have any access to the sun, then you have no choice. It's better to supplement because.
Well, tell us a little bit about supplement and how do we get the most out of it.
Supplements, basically you have to do your research and make sure that you are getting, a good quality supplement, because obviously nowadays the supplement industry is not very regulated.
Yeah.
And some, merchants will, be honest, and they will put the right amount of vitamins and nutrition into that supplement, and some of them will cut corners to make it cheaper, and then you will end up taking a vitamin which doesn't have the required amount,
Okay.
So that's unfortunate. But as I said, first and foremost, focus on nutrition. Make sure you're getting your raw food and vegetables. Secondly, if you cannot do that, supplements are a good alternative to it. And in particular, vitamin D, actually, it's very important for getting your immune system stronger. But it's not only a vitamin. It's like it has very strong properties in regulating the immune system, vitamin D in particular.
Right.
So imagine people, and studies show that there are a lot of people who are deficient in vitamin D. They will definitely benefit from it.
Brilliant. So what we learned is vitamin C and vitamin D. So C's and D's, and there are many other vitamins, but these are at the moment the most two important vitamins. Now,
obviously, it's very important to talk with your doctor when it comes to the dosages, but as well, most of the time, if you go to a pharmacy and you pick up a vitamin C, from what I've seen, it has usually around 400 milligrams.
Brilliant.
But at least, I would say, at least a minimum of 1,000 milligrams. That would be the bare minimum.
Minimum of 1,000 milligrams. Sorry to stop you again, Raz. We are going to go to a break before we come back to you. But once again, just make sure everybody's individual situation or condition is different. So these are general advices. But like Raz has mentioned before, do speak to your doctor for any specific medication or therapy or whatever you need. We'll go to a break now, and we'll see you very shortly. And welcome back to World Pandemic COVID-19. Those of you who have just joined us, we have been covering post-COVID recovery and what to do for those who are in the unfortunate situation of long COVID. We've also covered boosting the immune system in terms of maybe nutritionally, supplementation, and obviously exercise. And I've got with myself Raz, a physiotherapist, and also a fitness trainer. Raz, once again, we were talking about the vitamin C's and the D's. So let's carry on touching up on the importance of these vitamins.
Yeah, so vitamin D, as I said in particular, is a very strong immunoregulator. It's not a simple vitamin, other than maybe a lot of people, they just know about vitamin D, that it helps with calcium absorption in the bones, but it's not only that. It has, as I said, very strong immunity, boosting effects. It has, it helps your bones become stronger, helps your muscles become stronger. It helps even your heart. So it has a very strong link with regulating the heart.
That's vitamin D we're talking about,
vitamin D, yeah. So because a lot of people are deficient, it's very important that people supplement. And as we said before, guys, do your research. You have to get a good supplement, because otherwise you might end up the supplement which has a very low dose, or it's underdosed and it doesn't do the effects. So
what about those of us who don't know, we are new in the field, maybe in supplementation, and doctors don't usually recommend supplementation because maybe they're under another scope what to recommend and what not to, but those of us who don't know, how do we actually go about researching on this?
I think obviously the best thing to do is to test. You can do a blood test for it. And then if the results will come and you are low, then most likely the doctor will give you supplementation, you know, with vitamin D. Sometimes they do it in a very large dose.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just give you something to take every single day.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to go about it is, you know, speak with your doctor.
Yeah.
He should know a good brand and how much to take.
Right.
Obviously, if you maybe don't have access, let's just say by any chance, try to go on Google, read some research. There's plenty
because
of,
you know the reason I mentioned this is as you would know more than me, that you know everybody's unique in their own own way, and then also there are 3 or 4 types of body, so everybody's got different types of body, right? I think it's called what, metamorph or ectomorph.
Mesomorph, ectomorph.
That's right. So there's you know terms that we use. People who don't really study in that, it's very new to them. So you know, would you say to recognize your body first, to know what type of body you have?
That doesn't really
matter, right?
Doesn't really matter, no.
So it could be general for all these kind of supplementation, vitamins and whatnot. It could be general. It would work with everybody.
Yeah. People should have their levels, you know, pretty high. But as we said, here in the UK, we don't have sunshine, you know, 12 months per year. So unfortunately, we go without sun for a long period of time. And another thing which is unfortunate is the darker your skin is, the harder for you is to absorb vitamin D through the sun.
Right.
So you literally have to lie in the sun longer, you know, in order to get it. Whereas someone who has a more fair skin, you know, doesn't need as much. So this is another thing which you should take into consideration, because
just to cut you, this is very important for us, especially this is the Asian TV channel, and most of us viewers will be a little bit darker than Raz here. So it's very important how important vitamin D is to us. And so remember to enhance it as much as you can.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I remember reading some research. They said actually Asians are more prone to vitamin D deficiency. So you guys need to test 100% because it makes such a big difference. Believe me, it makes such a big difference. You know how you will feel, how your body will react to, you know, all these kind of threats, including COVID-19.
So we got vitamin C. We've heard the importance of vitamin C. We've heard the importance of vitamin D. Before we go to another video and see another one of your techniques, can you tell us a couple of more other vitamins that are very important to us additionally?
Yeah, so all the vitamins more or less will have some effects on your immune system. But another trace mineral which is very good is magnesium and zinc. In particular, zinc is super important. And actually, as far as I know, a lot of patients suffering from COVID-19, they're actually given zinc, and the effects of COVID are less than you know, they would be without it. So obviously, it's a very important you know, part of your recovery.
Right. Going back to vitamin D again, we know that obviously we get that from the sun a lot, right? So naturally we get that from the sun. Can you actually get too much of it, which is not going to be good for you? Because we hear about skin cancer and whatnot.
Well, if you get too much from a supplement form,
the sun
from
itself.
The sun.
So lying under the sun, we talked about, you know,
no. Of course, you don't expose
protect yourself
too much, so you get sunburn. If you want to get adequate amount of vitamin D, the research says 10, 15, 20 minutes, you know, on one side, and then on the other side. Try to expose as much skin as possible, and preferably when the sun is the strongest. Right. So in 15 minutes, you're not going to get massive sunburn.
Okay. So it's quite important.
Of course, if you're going to be like for 1 hour, you know, then
you will get
skin damage occurs. Right. And obviously, skin damage has been linked with, you know, skin problems, cancers, and all this stuff.
Well, as with everything, you know, too much of anything is not good for you. So, you know, there's a limitation. That's right?
Yeah,
Raz?
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's watch another of Raz's video, and Raz will be mentioning the name of his channel later on, but because we're not going to be able to show everything, but let's watch another one, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
If you feel anything like dizziness or something like that, just stop. Deep breath, always. Well done. For the seventh exercise, you're gonna need a balloon. So basically what I want you to do, I want you to take a deep breath and blow into the balloon. Stop. Yeah, and then again, take another deep breath and carry on. Good. Now let the air go out from the balloon. Well done. And we do it again. Inhale, deep breath. Good. Exhale. Yeah. Then again inhale. Good. Let it go out. Sorry for the noise. And again. Good. Deep breath. Continue inflating the balloon. Good.
Well, we've seen the balloon technique, and it's definitely not boring. So, you know, some of you, if you think that exercise is boring, I didn't find that boring. Quite interesting, actually. Raz, tell me a little bit about the technique here and how important that is.
Yeah, guys, so all these exercises, you will find it on my YouTube channel. I run a YouTube channel called Razvan Physique, Razzvan Physique in one word. And I basically try to use this platform to help more people get better with fitness. And the exercise you just saw, it's literally something extra for your lungs, a new challenge for your lungs, because when you exhale, you don't have any resistance, right? When you have the balloon, you have the resistance of the balloon. So taking a deep breath, you exhale into the balloon, and then you have level 1. And then again you inhale, and you push it even further. So it's different challenge for the lungs. And
so the challenge is to make the balloon a little bit bigger each time you blow. Okay.
But not too big so it blows in your face.
No, definitely not. Well, you can get another balloon afterwards.
But I don't think it's very pleasant to have that, splashing in your face.
Well, we know how important it is, to use your respiratory system, especially with breathing. Sorry. Obviously, you need your respiratory system for the breathing, but how important breathing itself is. And I think I've mentioned earlier on about the inhaling and exhaling. So this balloon technique, has it got any kind of scientific backup, or is it something that you came up with yourself?
No, I haven't came up with myself. I actually studied this in my university because, as I said, I was doing volunteer work for a hospital, and there were a lot of patients who were suffering from cardiovascular disease to respiratory diseases, and this was one of the exercises to re-educate and strengthen the lungs and the muscles which help with breathing. Brilliant. So it's been researched. But yeah, the information is out there, I'm just trying to give it to you guys as well, and you should do it because I'm 100% sure, you will feel much
amazing.
better.
It's amazing how, things that we take for granted, such as breathing, and, it's so amazing that how much it helps us, and especially in this situation to recover. So we've covered the breathing, we talked about nutrition as well, and also supplementation. Let's talk a little bit about physical exercise. So which of the physical exercises is important to recover? Because as soon as you've gone through gone through COVID, some of us maybe we're in long COVID, so we're not strong as we should be. So how do we tackle that?
So if you do this routine a couple of times over and over again, and it becomes quite easy, the next level would be to give the body an extra challenge. So I would say focus on cardiovascular exercises. Basically just, even going for a run, that can be the next step. That will, make your cardiovascular and respiratory system stronger and stronger, and that's how you'll build up, your fitness.
Right.
As much as you want.
So you should say
And,
running. I mean, maybe someone can start off walking
Yes.
every day. Maybe half an hour of the walk and stuff
But
like that.
you will see in the routine that is on my YouTube channel. At some point, you can use the stairs. So just
Right.
up and down, up and down, up and down, faster, faster, and faster. So if you already get to that stage, then you'll be able to run. I'm 100% sure that you run. So by the end of this routine,
Right.
after you do it like over and over again and you feel comfortable doing it, you should be able to go for a light jog. Not sprinting, but
Light jog. So basically, it's all about conditioning yourself.
Yeah.
After the COVID, just conditioning yourself. Fascinating, isn't it? You start off with breathing, which normally we do, and if we don't, then it's the end of life. So breathing, and then how important nutrition is and vitamins are, and then obviously, very, very slowly, gradually start off with the physical exercises. So don't go into strong exercises straight away. Start off with walking, and then as Raz mentioned, light jog, and then maybe after that you go into an advanced position that you can actually start doing the heavier exercises.
Obviously then once everything becomes back to normal and everything becomes easy, whatever you want to do, if it's going to the gym, if it's football, any sport, you can just do it as normal. But it's important to start slow, and it's more important to be consistent, because a lot of people, they do it 1 time, 2 times, either they get bored or they get lazy or they get distracted.
That is a huge factor.
Yeah, if you want to, progress and get your life back and feel 100% again, you just have to go with it, and just give yourself time. You don't have to rush it. Everyone has their own pace, and once you do that and you feel much better, then you'll feel grateful and happy because you didn't quit.
Absolutely, guys. So very important to be consistent, and many of us face this problem actually, because after you do something for a short while, it seems, and maybe it's human nature that we get bored of it and we look for new things. But in exercises, it is important to change your exercise routine anyway. So you don't go into what they call a plateau, and that's when you do get bored. So change your exercise routines, and then hopefully things will get interesting. Right, and so we've covered most of the post-recovery aspects. Now, fitness is, we touched upon fitness a little bit, but explain to me, how is somebody so obviously we've gone through the breathing and they made themselves a little bit stronger now. So then we can move on to the fitness and see what other fitness regimes that we can bring into our body so that we don't face it. Prevention is cure. We've already gone through COVID, so we don't face it once again.
So, as I mentioned before about the posture, we should focus on re-educating the posture, because if you are hunched over and you can't breathe properly, that's a problem in the first place. So, going to the gym, for example, because that way you can control exactly what muscles you are training and what muscles you are strengthening. Basically, focusing on training your back muscles and stretching the muscles which are tight. Basically helps
That's
you,
for posture.
Yes, it helps you to get your posture back, and then you can breathe better.
So mention a couple of exercises for the back muscle, for example. Mention a couple of exercises.
Yeah, for the back muscles would be some rear delt flies.
Right.
Some rows, either being bent over rows or.
Are these compound training?
Rows.
Are they working other parts or just the back?
Yes, it works your arms, obviously, because when you are rowing, you are also working your forearms, your biceps, but also works your upper back muscles. Yeah, the rhomboids, the trapezius, the rear delts, and also your lats. And a lot of the times, because of this posture, the muscles here in the front tend to become quite stiff. So also stretching these muscles to make sure that you balance everything. And
so it's very important. The posture is very important, and then how much oxygen you are being able to inhale as well.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, isn't it? Because we don't really know. I mean, it's a very important thing how you sit and how you get your posture correct. It helps with with how much oxygen you can actually take in, and the more the oxygen you can take in, it functions everything else in the body as well, right?
It's all about the balance. If you think about it, it's all about the balance. If you have a good posture, you can breathe better. If you breathe better, your immune system works better.
Well,
right? And so everything has to be
so
balanced.
it's a chain reaction.
Exactly. Even with your fitness program, even if with your diet, with your supplementation, everything has to be balanced. And I preach balance.
Yeah.
For example, people who follow low-fat diets, they putting themselves at risk of lowering the immune system because a lot of the cells, they use fat. So if you don't have a lot of fat in your diet...
So explain to me, because you just said people with low-fat diet. And we always hear about how bad high-fat diets are. So tell me about the two different types of fats. Which fats, obviously when you said low-fat diet is not good, that means fats are good for us. But which type of fats?
Well, it's not necessarily the type of fat, but it's how the fats are processed, right? So we have healthy fats and we have unhealthy fats. And a lot of the healthy fats, if they are processed and they are heated, then they become, they burn and they become unhealthy for the body. Exactly. So there is a link between high-fat diets because you're basically getting in more calories.
Right.
So 1 gram of fat has 9 calories.
Right.
Whereas 1 gram of carb and 1 gram of protein has 4 calories.
Okay.
Right. So it's easy to get over your recommended daily allowance of calories and go overboard. And what the fat is going to do with the extra calories is just going to...
You're going to store it.
Yeah, store it
as
as
in the wrong places.
Basically.
That's what happens with many of us, unfortunately. But so these good fats, I mean, where do we get it?
We get them from, for example, salmon, like fish oil.
Okay.
We get it from avocado.
Okay.
We get it from olive oil, and basically just use it a little bit. Don't have to use a lot. You use a little bit for your salads.
Fantastic.
And but I know in Asian cuisine, people use
a lot of fats.
A lot of fat, and it's all cooked, deep fried. And unfortunately, that's not very healthy.
You mentioned something about vegetables to have it raw. What do we do with the taste? Because we Asians, we like our taste and a bit of spice.
Of course, some legumes or some vegetables, you cannot eat them unless you cook them. Right? So you technically could, but not really. For example, to eat raw potatoes. That's not very good. So of course, those you can cook it.
So legumes, you're talking about lentils and stuff like that, right?
These ones, of course, they have to be cooked as well. In terms of spices, as I said, as long as it does have a lot of sugars, a lot of calories, a lot of fats, a lot of the times they make dried, and that's pretty good, I think.
It's okay, So there's a spice that I've been hearing recently about, turmeric. It's supposed to be really good for you. It's got something called curcumin or something in it. Curcumin, that's right. That's what you're here as, just to correct me. But so I mean, spices can be good for you as well. It's what 100%. Spices that you use?
100%, they can be good for you. Even the salt can be good for you in good moderate quantities. I use Himalayan salt because compared to the white processed salt, it retains some minerals.
Right.
So by using a bit of Himalayan salt, for example,
is that sea salt?
Pink salt. Pink salt. Yeah.
Wow.
Himalayan salt. You're getting
that's something new to me because I haven't heard of this.
You're getting some minerals, and that can be beneficial for you. But as we discussed before, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Okay.
So again, it's about how much the amount that you use. So there's good and bad in everything. It's the amount that you use. Okay, fantastic.
The dosage makes the poison. So things can be beneficial for you, but if you have too much, obviously the body is not going to be very happy and it's going to reject it or create some disbalances.
Okay. Well, many of us, with a busy life schedule, we don't get to study and research on these vitamins and nutrition and the facts that Raz has been speaking about. But I would urge you to do this. Take some time out, and because it could be a matter of life and death, and especially with the condition or the situation that we are in. So do study your nutrition, guys. Do study your exercises, breathing techniques. Everything is about the correct form of doing it. So it's all about how you do it. It's all about how much you take into your body, and with the breathing, how much exhaling we can do, how much inhaling we can do. Hope it makes sense because Raz is the expert. Once again, Raz, if you just mention your YouTube channel so our viewers can benefit from that.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I'm running my YouTube channel. It's called RAZZVAN Physique, all in one word. Razvan Physique. So over there you'll find videos of recovering after COVID, but I also have a series of videos, 10 minutes, which can be done in 10 minutes from anywhere, and there is no equipment required.
Brilliant.
So whatever you want to work on, you can do it. If you want to do cardio, like a class basically, or if you want to work on your core, or if you want to do your back, everything it's over there. So give me a subscribe, and I'm sure you'll definitely benefit from it.
Fantastic. Well, you've heard the man himself. Do subscribe. I hope you've noted that down and watch the channels to further benefit on these issues. And hopefully we don't have to come back to doing more of these world pandemic shows. Hopefully, we do get over this and this all leaves us. But if we do another show, until next time, Assalamu alaikum.